You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
What's up, ladies? How y'all doing? It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, your spiritual sister, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Ladies Lounge. Welcome to the lounge, everyone. Members, subscribers, first timers, visitors, whatever your position may be, I welcome you to the channel. So I want to go into this word on the curve segment. You know, whenever you see me post a word on the curve, it's just a quick little a little news break as to some current events going on within the reality blog world or whatever. But nevertheless, y'all, I thought it was imperative that I discuss this because I found it very interesting that after that last episode of Love and Marriage in Huntsville aired, how Martell all of a suddenly felt that he needed to post on his Instagram account and basically I guess trying to save face, I guess, you know, looking outside of himself, seeing how ridiculously embarrassed he looked, how desperate he came off. I think it really made him feel some type of way, and now he's trying to rebuttal that whole scene by basically stating that it was all an act. But I'm going to go ahead and read the post that he put on his Instagram, which has now since been deleted. At least I think it has, because I have not seen it anywhere since then. So I had to get it from another blogger. So nevertheless, y'all, right? I also posted this on my community tab if you want to read it later or see it yourself. But this is exactly what Martell Holt has. He has, "I don't want her back. This scene is me playing team ball. I was asked to meet with Melody, and Carlos called me after me telling the other producers I'm not taking her flowers. She got me in the court saying I'm abusing my kids. Now she has merchandise saying she's against abuse. She tried to get me. Carlos begged me to take her effing flowers." I guess that's what he meant. Talking about the Holtz need to take the show back. My only question was, y'all talk with Melody? The answer was yes. So I was down. But just like you were delusional about Saf wanting you back, it's the same over here. I'll tell y'all about that later. The frustration you see on my face is not her not doing what the producer said she was going to do. All this shit is definitely for TV. We're actors. Carlos, don't delete this. Let's have a real conversation. I might be getting a phone call to fire me after this comment. Sorry, but you guys are not going to continue to villainize me. Make me out to be an abuser, a stalker, making it seem like I want Melody back. I'm done with y'all making me out to be something I'm not. Film my real life or don't film me at all. Now, I want to pause the brakes and go back to the part that says the answer was yes. So I was down, but just like you were delusional about Saf wanting you back, it's the same over here. Now that was in response to the comment Erica Mena, who was also booted off of Love and Hip Hop, I believe New York and Atlanta. I forgot which season she's from, but basically Erica Mena stated under Martell's comment, which I don't even know why she went up under there, but Erica's always looking for a moment, and she basically says something in alignment of, yes, that's the thing. Yeah, men, us Scorpio women, men are always checking for us, always wanting to get back with us, basically implying, I guess in her own way, how Safari tried to come back for her too. So Safari is Erica Mena's ex-husband, whom she shares 2 children with. Okay, so their marriage was pretty toxic for the most part, and Safari left. His real name is Safari. Martell called himself trying to shade Erica Mena, and also within the shade, he called himself trying to hashtag Safari so Safari could see it. The problem is he did not spell Safari's name correctly. Safari's name is with an F, not a P, like Sapphire the Ruby. He spells his Safari with 2 F's. So he did not hashtag Safari correctly because he spelled his name wrong. But you know how Mr. Smarty Pants is, and that comes from wearing those tight ass pants too long. You start to lose some of your brain cells, meaning you forget how to pronounce and spell things correctly. Okay, but that's what that was in reference to. I guess he felt it was imperative to let Erica Mena, in addition to everybody else, know, I'm not checking for mail like that, when it was clearly indicated. Even Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder could see he was still checking for mail. Based off of this post, the narrative he's trying to spin is that Carlos called him and said, "Look, man, the show was dying. We need you and Melody to bring the show back to life, because the views are not doing good. So we need you to turn up. We need you to meet with Mel and make it seem like you got some feelings for her, whatever the case is. We need y'all to bring that fire back to the show." Based off of his narrative, okay, all right, I'm game. If y'all want me to play the role and act like I'm feeling Melody like that, okay, cool. But what is she going to do? I need to be assured that she's going to act like, she's at least considering it or thinking about it. She got to play along with it. I don't want to look like, the bad guy, like I'm thirsty, like I'm desperate. So what is she going to do to help, carry out this? And supposedly he insinuated Carlos made it seem like, okay, we done talked to Mel already. This is Martell. Y'all sure y'all talked to Mel? Because y'all want me to bring flowers and do all of this like I'm checking for her. What is she going to do? Well, yeah, Carlos goes, well, yeah, we done talked to Mel, and Mel, she's willing to play along, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool, I'm down. So he claims he goes to meet Mel, and he puts up this, "I want you back, baby. I think, we should try to rekindle our magic." Martell is basically claiming that he's played the role of acting as if he wanted Melody back, which he's insinuating he didn't want Melody back, that it was Carlos, the show, who told him to up the ante. When we could clearly see Martell is still checking for Mel. Period. Point blank. Even like I said a couple of weeks ago, when they one of the kids had some type of sports event, he didn't even know the phone, Melody's phone, was on, and Melody's phone was recording him trying to get back with Melody. Then we know that anytime Martell encounters Melody, he's going to always use that moment to try to capitalize off of him and Melody getting back together. Even though he's always swearing up and down, he has no feelings like that. He's not checking for her like that. We all know it's all lies, lies, lies. Like I said last night, when I discussed the finale, how when Melody told him, "Hey, you're sitting up here lying, accusing me of cheating, stating that whenever I rented a room, I was renting a room so I can be with another man, and this, that, and the third, and that's a lie." First, he tried to lie and say, "Well, no, I didn't say that." When we all clearly heard him say that Melody was obviously cheating. So Melody said, "No, you did. You accused me not once, several occasions." So then he went from he didn't say it at all. Then he tried to change the narrative again by saying, "Well, it's a possibility." So he lied within 2-second frame of the conversation. So anybody who will take Martell's word for anything at this point, um it's foolish. I would not believe Martell if his tongue came notarized. Even if Martell said the grass outside is green, you still better go out there and check yourself, and then check with a magnifying glass. You got to check several times, because anytime Martell says something, most of the time his words is not valid. He don't prove he's a habitual liar. How many times has he convinced us, or tried to convince us, that he does not want mail, he's not feeling mail, and not checking for mail, and every time he gets around mail, he just melts like M&Ms, when he's within her presence. Now, so the next thing is, now he's trying to make threats to Carlos or the producers of the show by stating, if you cannot film my real life, I don't want you filming me at all. Now, there's a couple of things that intel with this. First of all, Martell is hella embarrassed from this last episode. Everybody's looking at him like this desperate little puppy. So his ego is very bruised at this moment. And also because Mel rejected him versus, participating or responding the way he was hoping she would, that just added more insult to injury. So, for one, he's dealing with embarrassment. His ego is bruised. Secondly, he has to deal with air mattress. Yes, Angry Bird, Arion, because you got to realize, when he does these stunts and it's filmed and it's recorded for the world to see, people love letting the Angry Bird know, girl, did you see what Martell said? Did you see what your man, your baby daddy said, girl? Because she's very chaotic, so people love bringing chaos to her. People love stirring her up, and because she loves to involve herself in anything pertaining to Martell, I'm sure she probably called Martell, blew up, had a fit. Because remember in the scene, he was wearing the wedding ring. But I think that's another reason why he made this post, because Arion is fuming hot. You got to realize, her friends watch the show. Her family watches the show. Hell, she probably even watches the show because she's very obsessed with Mel. So I'm sure Arion Air Mattress makes it her business to try to look up and look into anything that Martell and Mel have going on when they have to encounter each other in these scenes. So I'm sure this really blew her lid. This blew a head gasket for Arion Air Mattress. Okay, because you got to realize, all this time she's been stunting, fake flexing with Martell. So happy to finally be out in the open with him now. She doesn't have to hide. She doesn't have to sneak. She feels like she can freely enjoy somebody else's ex-husband and not have to hide or be in secret anymore. Because she's been not filming, but video recording them with her iPhone and Android or whatever, every time they go to the store, every time they empty the trash, every time they go to Popeyes. She has to let everybody know, I'm no longer Martell's side chick, because I'm out in the open now. He does not have to hide me. So at this point, she feel like it's free game to constantly keep exposing herself with Martell. So I'm sure she became very angry. So Martell has to do damage control at this point. Not because he cares about Arion, not because he loves Arion. He wants to keep Arion at bay. So I'm sure when this got back to Arion, she blew up, had a hissy fit, had a little girl tantrum, and he probably told her, no, this was for the show. I only did this because the producers told me to. Baby, I got to keep playing along, pretending that I want Melody. That's the only way I'm going to be able to stay on the show. That's the only way I'm going to be able to keep getting checks, to support you and our little screaming demon that we produce together outside of my marriage. I have to play the role. I have to fake the funk. I have to pretend there's something still there. And trust and believe, all he did was said that, gave us some dick, went out for a little 2-piece and a biscuit and some Cajun rice, and all is well. All is well. That's why you're not hearing Arion jump off the fence and she ain't saying too much right now. If she does say something, she's going to cover it up. She's going to justify it and say, well, Martell only did that because the producers told him that if he gonna be on the show, he needs to go along to get along. Okay, you know, whatever Martell says, cause she's stigmatized, okay, she's gonna believe it. So he's gonna always have every air mattress in his pocket. He ain't never got to worry about that. All he got to do is give us some dick and take out for a 2-piece dinner, and all is well, okay? And Hinesville, all right, between the both of them. So he had to give Ariane, you know, some pillow talking penis, okay, and take out the Waffle House after. And after that, he realizes, after Ariane going at him and everybody's clowning him, his ego being bruised, he's feeling some type of way now. So now he says, you know what? He's called himself threatening the show, Carlos, in a sense, because he thinks he's the prize, okay? He feels like in order for the show to be successful, the hosts have to be a part of the equation. So if he threatens them and removes himself, then he feels like the show is going to suffer without his presence. And I doubt it. I think everybody's pretty much over it. Nobody's not entertained by Martell's fuckboy shenanigans at this point. If anything, everybody's annoyed. So this is his way of trying to do damage control. This is his way of trying to control the situation, because the narcissistic ninja, like I told y'all before, the nature of the narcissistic ninja is to get their way, to have their way by all costs. It does not matter what they got to lose. So right now, he's selling wolf tickets. Okay? If Carlos was smart, Carlos would remove him off the show and see how the ratings do with him gone. They'll probably get way more ratings. He will probably see the show jump and flourish once they get rid of them, because at this point, Martell really has no purpose on the show. But the sad part is, even through all of this, somehow they're still going to keep him. I seriously doubt they're going to get rid of him. Let's just keep it a buck. That would be a beautiful thing. I would enjoy it. Y'all would enjoy it. But we know good damn well these producers are greedy. These networks are greedy. They're not going to get rid of this virus, because Martell is a virus to the show. They're not going to counsel him. As much as we would love to do that, he would have to really get messed up in something, get caught in a really bad scandal, like there was a revenge P. Something major has to happen in order for them to remove him. Other than that, him making these threats now is because he really, really wants to bring Ariane on the show. Not just because, you know, he wants to prove a point maliciously. That's his way of getting back at Melody, which would not be effective because Melody has moved on. But at this point, Martell is on his last leg. He has nothing else to bring to the show to make him relevant. And at this point, he wants to do something. He basically wants to throw a bomb. He wants to throw in something extreme to really validate and prove his point. He wants to up the ante by basically threatening Carlos them. I want to show my real life, which means I want to bring my side chick on here. I want to bring the woman who I brought into my marriage that caused me to get a divorce. This is what he's been aiming for all along. So the nature of the narcissistic ninja is, now, because y'all made me look bad, which he basically did it on his own, but you have to look at this from the nature of the narcissistic ninja. He's looking at it like, y'all made me look bad, and y'all won't let me share my real life. We know your real life. We know all of what we need to know about you. We know you was hoeing around in your marriage. We know that it was Melody, your ex-wife, who was carrying y'all, who had the license, which you failed to do your part as a husband, because you would not go and get licensed to become a a builder, contractor, whatever the hell, Melody is already certified in. You was too lazy on that. We know that you was reckless with your penis, and you got the angry bird pregnant, and we know everything that you have done so far has been an epic fail. So there's nothing else you need to share about your real life. The little bit that we know of you so far is not good. And for you to try to manipulate and persuade the producers to let you show your real life, meaning that is your low-key slick way of getting them to let you bring your side chick on the show, knowing it's your wife that's on the team of the producers, knowing that bringing Ariane on that show would only piss Melody off. At this point, you're so angry with how terrible and desperate you look. You're trying to do damage control by convincing the network that either if they want you to continue filming, they have to allow you or give you the privilege of filming your whole life. We don't want to see Screaming Demon. We don't want to see Lil Chucky. We don't want to see Ariane making that great value chicken Alfredo that probably tastes like Kate or Susan Kegler from marketing made it. Okay, we don't want to see her no seasoned great value chicken Alfredo. You want to bring her on the show so bad because not only that, you're still trying to reassure Angry Bird that there's nothing going on between you and Melody. And what better way to do that is by getting her to come on the show, so that way you could convince Angry Bird that it's all about you or her now. Not only that, Angry Bird to be getting some income as well. That way you can get around not having to help her financially support Little Screaming Demon. So you want Ariane on that show for your own personal malicious reasons. But the number one reason is because you really want to make Mel feel and look like you feel and look. That last scene, you looked it embarrassed and humiliated. And your ultimate goal being that you are the narcissistic ninja that you are, you want to pass that energy to Mel. So what better way to do it is by threatening the Carlos, the network, if y'all gonna film me, I need to be able to film my real life, which simply means I need to be able to bring my side chick on. I want to up the ante. I want to make Mel upset. I want to, embarrass her and humiliate her, even though he's already done that. That's not enough for him. He knows Melody does not want that angry bird, that ostrich, on the show. He knows that. He knows that's definitely a deal breaker. But at this point, the nature of the narcissistic ninja, when they feel like they done already lost everything, at this point, he's not even trying to gain Mel's respect. He's not trying to have any empathy or compassion. He never had it from the beginning, even before the divorce. That is the reason why the angry bird was able to infiltrate the marriage. But now that he knows even more so that he cannot manipulate Mel, he cannot persuade Mel. At this point, he's willing to go for the blow. He's willing to go for the juggler. He's willing to will and deal it all because he done already lost everything. So what better way than to threaten the show, film me or don't film me at all, because I want to bring my side chick. I want to bring my appetizer. I want to bring my whole slaw, my coleslaw, my salad. My mozzarella cheese sticks. What better way? Y'all, I'm not going to look like a fool by myself. I'm not going to be embarrassed or humiliated by myself. I'm going to humiliate my ex-wife even more by threatening the show. Either you film me, my real life, or don't film me at all. Now, this can go one of two ways. I rarely doubt Carlos is going to give in and say, okay, we'll film the real you. We'll let Ariane come on. I doubt it'll go that way. However, these networks, reality shows, I don't know. I feel like Melody has a huge percentage of influence on who comes on the show and who doesn't come on the show. It may be one of those things where Angry Bird will always pretty much be blocked. She'll never have that leverage. But I don't trust Carlos. I don't trust these networks. We've seen these networks do some foul things. I don't know how far they would go. Hopefully they would not go that far to betray Mel. I don't know how the dynamics of that works, being that she is a producer. Can they override her? Will they take a chance and do it behind her back without her knowing? And I don't trust people. Listen, my trust for people is so slim these days. People will find ways to go around trying to ruin you. I don't want to speak that into existence, but Carlos is so shady. He's the king. Carlos Chaos. Chaos Carlos. I'm going to call him Chaos Carlos. I don't trust that dude. Let's face it. Some of these queens, and I'm going to say this nicely, everything I say in this video is based off of my opinion. Nothing I say is actual, factual. This is for entertainment and educational purposes. That's my disclaimer. But we know these queens don't have the best interest for us. And I know you sisters out there know what I'm talking about. You know, the alphabet mafia, some of these dudes low-key want to be us so bad to the point that they don't like us, okay? I've always felt like Carlos Chaos had some strong liking, more than he should, for Martell. I don't think personally Martell looks at him that way, but Martell will play the role. Martell is so dirty. Martell will play the role to make Carlos think there's a possibility that something could happen between them just so he can get what he need out of Carlos. And I think something like that was kind of going on, y'all. I think when Carlos Chaos and Martell was kind of being buddy-buddy, I don't think something really happened between them, but I believe Carlos was trying to hint on it, and you know, Martell being a user that he is, he played the role till he couldn't play it anymore. And I think Carlos kind of caught on to it, like, okay, he'll never really check for me like that. He liked me as a friend, but not like that. So I believe, that's just my opinion, that's why Carlos looked out and paid those 1 or 2 payments for Martell mama's house. But notice he didn't buy the house. He didn't pay it off because Carlos got the money. Carlos did just enough for Martell just to see what was the next move Martell was going to do. And we know Martell, unfortunately, he loves his own penis too much to want to share penis with something else that has a penis. That's just my opinion. This could be far-fetched. Some of y'all may be Martell fans where y'all worship him and don't think he's capable. But I think he probably led Carlos on just a little bit, just so he can secure his spot, just so he can get Carlos to do little favors here and there. And I think Carlos kind of caught on, like, he likes me as a bro, but there will not be no bromance, okay? So I think Carlos deals with Martell just enough in small segments, but not a lot. Now that Carlos has caught on and saw he's not going to be able to turn Martell out. It's not going to go no further than what it is. That's just my opinion, okay? Nevertheless, Martell is not going to be satisfied, because you got to realize at this point he's lost everything. He's on his last leg. Martell likes to go out with a bang. If this does not work out in his favor, I don't know what else he's going to do, but I think this last finale really pissed him off. He got to look outside of himself, because sometimes you can't see yourself for who you are. You know, unless you get on these shows, and these shows follow you from day to day, it makes you really see yourself for who you are. And I think when Martell saw this final episode, saw how desperate he looked, saw how thirsty he looked, it really bruised his ego. It made him mad. And even more so, seeing that Melody was not going to give in. Melody was very strong, and her boundaries with him, it made him feel some type of way. Not only that, you know, Angry Bird had a fit. She probably had a meltdown, screaming, yelling, having a fit. You lied to me. Why are you on the show making me look stupid? I'm up here riding for you, helping you pick up trash in the yard. and you humiliating me. And you know, it's funny because a lot of these side chicks, it's funny how they make a mockery out of another woman's pain, you know, when the shoe's on the other foot. But when it's their turn, they are way more livid than the wives could ever be. Yet they make a mockery out of another woman's pain. I strongly believe Ariane Angry Bird, she jumped off the deep end. It pissed off. But rest assured, like I said, he gave her some dick and dinner. So she's fine today. We're going to see the Angry Bird. We're going to see the ostrich. She's going to pop up at some given point, explaining, trying to make it look right. No, Martell did that for acting. You know how she does, y'all. But that's really why he wrote that long, funky post. And it was so long and written out. He was just that angry. He had to get it off his chest. He could not sleep at night. There's no telling what else he's going to do at this point. If he can't get this to work out in the favor, I don't know what else he's going to do to bring shock value. Because Martell loves to bring shock value. I don't know. Because he's very desperate. If they won't give him a storyline by letting Ariane come on, he'll probably create one. I don't know if he'll go so far as to getting her pregnant again, just to just to add a new storyline. If he'll marry her, just to add a new storyline, knowing he don't love her, knowing he does not want to be married to her. But anything for shock value. And if he don't get this, I don't know what else he's capable of doing. I don't know what y'all ladies think. Leave in a comment below what y'all think is going to happen. Do y'all really think Carlos is going to say, okay, Martell has a point. We're going to go ahead and start letting him integrate Ariane into the show, being that she is a part of his real life? Or they're going to say, you know what? We cannot buck Melody. We cannot go against the grain. We're going to have to let you sign your papers and be done with it. Let me know what y'all think about this, y'all. It is your girl, Different Knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Lady Lounge. Make sure y'all hit that like button. It's not going to cost you a thing. Hit that like button. That way my content can get into the algorithms. I appreciate that. Those of you who did not catch my last upload, which was yesterday, my intake, Messy Mitch Martell, the narcissistic ninja strikes again. Make sure y'all check that out if y'all didn't get a chance to, view it. So anyway, y'all be blessed. I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.